Lieutenant Olivia Reeves checked her fighter jet's controls one more time. The morning sun shone through her cockpit as she flew high above Earth. This was just another patrol mission, or so she thought. Olivia was the best pilot Earth had. She had won many medals and had never failed a mission. But today would be different from all her other flights. The first unusual thing was a flash of light far ahead. Olivia blinked, thinking it might be the sun reflecting off a cloud. Then she saw it clearly, a huge ship that seemed to be made of crystal. It glowed with blue and purple colors that shifted like water. The ship was bigger than anything humans had ever built, and it moved with amazing grace despite its size. "Base, this is Lieutenant Reeves," she said into her radio. "I see an unknown craft. It's not one of ours." The radio crackled with excited voices. Soon, all of Earth's defense systems were on alert. The strange ship had been spotted on radar too, and now everyone could see it. It hung in the sky, beautiful and frightening at the same time. A message came through on all radio channels. The words were in English, but the voice had an odd musical quality. "People of Earth, we come in peace. We are the Lysithian Collective. Our Queen Nazara wishes to speak with your leaders about a matter of great importance." World leaders scrambled to respond. Some wanted to welcome the visitors, others were afraid. While they argued, Olivia circled at a safe distance, watching the crystal ship. She noticed how its surface caught the sunlight and broke it into countless tiny rainbows. "It's beautiful," she whispered to herself. Then everything went wrong. A military base in the desert, acting without permission, fired 3 missiles at the alien ship. Olivia watched in horror as the weapons streaked across the sky. "No, stop," she shouted, but it was too late. The missiles never reached their target. They exploded halfway there, destroyed by invisible shields around the alien vessel. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the crystal ship pulsed with bright red light. Beams of energy shot from the ship, striking 3 military bases around the world with perfect aim. The bases were destroyed in seconds. Thousands died. It had taken only moments for the aliens to show how powerful they were. Panic spread across Earth. The alien ship was now seen as an invader. All available fighters were ordered to attack, including Olivia. "This is wrong," she said to herself as she joined a group of 20 fighters heading toward the alien vessel. "They only fired after we attacked them." But orders were orders. Olivia flew her special XF-92 Starhawk fighter, the newest and best ship humans had built. It was still being tested, with special features no other fighter had. Today, those features might be Earth's only hope. As the fighters approached the crystal ship, Olivia noticed something strange. A small part of the big ship broke away. This little ship was flying away fast, and 3 other small alien ships were chasing it. They were firing energy beams at the first small ship. Olivia's radio picked up strange signals. She couldn't understand the words, but she could tell the small ship was sending distress calls. Something wasn't right. The aliens were fighting each other. "Base, I'm seeing internal conflict among the aliens," she reported. "One small craft is being chased by others." "Stay on mission, Lieutenant," came the reply. "Attack the main vessel, as ordered." Olivia hesitated. Her instincts told her something important was happening with that small ship. The main alien vessel was now sending more ships after the first small one. Whatever was happening, that small ship seemed very important, to both sides. In that moment, Olivia made a choice that would change history. She broke formation and turned her fighter toward the chase. "Lieutenant Reeves, return to formation immediately," her commander shouted through the radio. "Sorry, sir. I need to check this out," she replied, then switched off her radio. Olivia pushed her fighter to full speed. The Starhawk was fast, but the alien ships were faster. She watched as they closed in on the small fleeing craft. Whoever was in that ship would be captured or killed in minutes. She had to do something unexpected. Olivia dove her fighter directly between the small ship and its pursuers. The alien ship scattered, clearly surprised by her move. She used that moment to fire special flares that her experimental fighter carried. These weren't normal flares. They released particles designed to disrupt advanced electronic systems. The alien ships wobbled in the air as their systems temporarily failed. The small ship kept flying. now heading toward Earth's moon. Olivia matched her speed to the small alien craft. Up close, she could see it was damaged. Through a clear section, she caught a glimpse of movement inside. Someone small was piloting it, much smaller than an adult human. Using simple light signals from her fighter's lights, Olivia blinked a basic pattern. 1, 2, 3 flashes. After a moment, the small craft responded with the same pattern. The alien ships behind them were, recovering. Olivia had only bought them a little time. She needed somewhere to hide this small craft until she could figure out what was happening. She signaled again, this time pointing her fighter toward a course that would take them around the far side of the moon, where they couldn't be tracked from Earth. The small craft followed her. As they flew, Olivia wondered what she had done. She had disobeyed direct orders. She might be seen as a traitor. But something told her that saving this small ship was the right thing to do. Maybe even the most important thing she would ever do. Behind her fighter and the small alien craft, the main crystal ship glowed brighter. More small ships launched from it. The Earth's fighters were engaged in battle now, and most were being destroyed quickly. The sky was filled with explosions and light. And through it all, Olivia Reeves and the mysterious craft she had decided to protect flew away from the chaos, toward an uncertain future and what would become the greatest adventure in human history. Olivia guided her fighter and the small alien craft behind the moon. Here they would be hidden from both Earth and the alien ships for a short time. She needed to see who she had saved and why they were running from their own people. The small craft slowed and turned to face Olivia's fighter. A soft blue light began to glow from inside it. Then, to her surprise, a face appeared at one of the windows. It was small and delicate, with features that looked almost human but not quite. The skin shimmered with a blue-purple color that reminded Olivia of the night sky. Large eyes, pure white with no pupils, stared at her with what seemed like curiosity. "Hello there," Olivia said, even though she knew the being couldn't hear her through the vacuum of space. The alien child, for it was clearly a child, placed a 6-fingered hand against the window. Then something strange happened. Olivia felt a gentle touch in her mind, like someone knocking politely on a door. Startled, she almost pulled away, but her curiosity was stronger than her fear. The touch became a series of images and feelings. Olivia saw a tall, regal being that looked like an adult version of the child. This being wore glowing clothes and sat on what appeared to be a throne made of the same crystal as the ship. Around the throne stood other aliens with stern faces and weapons. One of them, marked with red symbols on his armor, was pointing at the Queen and shouting without making a sound. More images flowed into Olivia's mind. The child being rushed away by loyal guards, the guards being killed, the child escaping in the small ship, and finally the relief when Olivia had appeared to help. When the images stopped, Olivia understood. This was Princess Ilara, daughter of Queen Nizara. There had been an attack, a coup, led by someone called Admiral Vex. The Queen had stayed to fight while making sure her daughter escaped. "Princess," Olivia said, nodding respectfully, even though they were in separate ships. She pointed to herself. "Olivia." The child smiled, showing teeth that glowed softly like pearls in moonlight. In Olivia's mind came a gentle whisper of a name. Ilara. Their moment of connection was broken by alarm signals from Olivia's fighter. 6 ships were approaching from around the moon. 3 were human fighters probably sent to find Olivia. The other 3 were the alien ships that had been chasing the princess. They had been found. Olivia quickly checked her fighter's systems. She still had weapons and her special countermeasures, but not enough to fight all 6 ships. She needed a plan. An idea came to her. The princess seemed to have some ability to share thoughts. Maybe she could share more. Olivia focused her mind on a question. Where can we go that's safe? Princess Ilara's eyes widened as she received the thought. She closed her eyes for a moment, then sent back an image. A small red dot in space. Mars. But not Mars itself, one of its tiny moons. Deimos. Of course. Deimos had old mining tunnels from early human exploration. They had been abandoned years ago when the operation proved too costly. The tunnels would provide shelter, and the moon's unusual composition might help hide them from sensors. Olivia nodded and pointed her fighter toward Mars. Princess Ilara's ship followed close behind. They accelerated quickly, but the six pursuing. Ships were gaining on them. "We need a distraction," Olivia muttered to herself. She reached for a special switch on her control panel. Her XF-92 Starhawk had an experimental feature, a quantum pulse that could briefly disrupt all electronic systems in a small area. It was dangerous to use and might damage her own systems, but they needed time. As the pursuing ships closed in, Olivia hit the switch. A wave of invisible energy spread out from her fighter. The effect was immediate. All six pursuing ships began to drift, their systems temporarily disabled. Her own fighter's lights flickered, and several warning alarms sounded, but she maintained control. "Let's go, Princess," Olivia said, pushing her engines to maximum. The two ships raced toward Mars, which was fortunately not too far from Earth at this time in its orbit. Still, it would take them several hours to reach Deimos. Olivia hoped that by the time the pursuing ships recovered, she and the princess would be too far ahead to catch. During the journey, Princess Ilara sent more images to Olivia's mind. The Lysithians, as her people were called, had come to Earth with an important warning. A wave of energy from a distant exploding star was heading toward Earth's solar system. It would arrive in 5 years and could destroy all life on Earth. The Lysithians had faced a similar threat centuries ago and had developed technology to protect themselves. Queen Nizara wanted to share this technology with humans, but Admiral Vex and his followers believed humans were too dangerous and unpredictable. They wanted to conquer Earth instead, taking its resources to build more ships so the Lysithians could escape to another star system, leaving humans to die. The more Olivia learned, the more she realized how important it was to protect Princess Ilara and help her reunite with her mother. Not only was she saving a child, but she might be saving all of humanity too. Hours later, they approached Deimos. The tiny moon was just a chunk of rock, barely visible against the red planet it orbited. Olivia scanned for the old mining base and found it on the far side. She signaled for Princess Ilara to follow her down. They landed their ships inside a large cave that had once been a hangar for mining equipment. The air was thin but breathable thanks to the old base's systems that still functioned at minimal levels. Olivia helped Princess Ilara from her damaged craft. Standing face to face for the first time, Olivia was struck by how small and delicate the princess looked. She stood about 4 feet tall with slender limbs and that beautiful blue-purple skin that seemed to glow from within. Her white eyes blinked up at Olivia with intelligence and worry. "It's okay," Olivia said gently. "We're safe for now." Princess Ilara took Olivia's hand in her 6-fingered one. The touch sent a clearer thought than before. "Thank you, brave human." Olivia smiled. "You're welcome, Your Highness." They explored the abandoned base and found a control room with working computers. Olivia used her military codes to access Earth's communication systems. The news was grim. The Lysithian ship was now in a standoff with Earth's combined military forces. Both sides were threatening destruction. And worse, Olivia was being described as a traitor who had stolen classified technology and aided the enemy. "They don't understand," she sighed. Princess Ilara touched her arm and sent an image of her mother, Queen Nizara, looking worried but determined. Then came another image, a massive gas planet with swirling storms. "Jupiter." "Your mother is at Jupiter?" Olivia asked, surprised. The princess nodded and sent more detailed images. The queen had escaped Admiral Vex's forces and hidden in Jupiter's thick atmosphere, where the planet's strong magnetic field and dense clouds made detection difficult. "We need to get you to her," Olivia said. "But both human and Lysithian forces will be looking for us. It won't be easy." Princess Ilara's expression became serious. She pointed to Olivia's fighter, then to herself, then upward. "Yes," Olivia agreed. "We'll use my fighter. It's our best chance." They spent the next day preparing. Olivia checked her fighter systems and made repairs where she could. The princess helped, showing surprising knowledge of technology for one so young. Together, they plotted a course to Jupiter that would keep them away from the most likely patrol routes. As they worked, Olivia learned more about the Lysithians through the princess's mental images. They were an ancient race who had mastered space, travel thousands of years ago. They valued knowledge, art, and harmony with nature. Their crystal ships were actually living things, grown rather than built, and all Lysithian royalty had telepathic abilities that grew stronger with age. When they finally slept, exhausted from their preparations, Olivia dreamed of crystal ships sailing through star-filled skies, with Princess Ilara standing beside her, pointing the way forward to a new future where humans and Lysithians worked together in peace. Dawn on Deimos was nothing like dawn on Earth. The weak sunlight filtered through the dust in Mars's atmosphere, creating a hazy red glow. Olivia woke to find Princess Ilara already up, making adjustments to her damaged ship. "Good morning, Princess," Olivia said with a yawn. The young Lysithian turned and smiled. She had been trying to remove a small crystal from her ship's control panel. With a final twist, it came free. She walked over to Olivia and held it out. "What's this?" Olivia asked. In her mind came the answer. Protection. Princess Ilara motioned for Olivia to hold the crystal. It was warm to the touch and pulsed gently, almost like it had a heartbeat. The princess placed her 6-fingered hands over Olivia's and closed her eyes. The crystal began to glow brighter, turning from blue to purple. Images flowed into Olivia's mind, the crystal being placed in her fighter's control panel, it connecting with the ship's systems, creating a shield like the ones the Lysithian ships used. "You're giving me shield technology?" Olivia asked, amazed. The princess nodded, her eyes serious. More images showed pursuing ships, danger ahead. They would need all the protection they could get for their journey to Jupiter. After a quick meal from the fighters' emergency rations, they prepared to leave. Olivia installed the crystal as Princess Ilara had shown her. To her surprise, her fighter's computer accepted the alien technology, showing new readings and controls on her display. "Amazing," Olivia whispered. Before they left, Olivia checked the Earth communications one last time. The news had gotten worse. Admiral Vex had convinced some Earth leaders that the Lysithians were planning to invade. Several countries had launched attacks against the main Lysithian ship, only to have their weapons easily destroyed. In response, Admiral Vex had taken control of the ship and was threatening to destroy Earth's major cities if humans didn't surrender. What worried Olivia most was the news about herself. She was now listed as the most wanted person on Earth, accused of helping the enemy. Her picture was everywhere, with orders to shoot on sight. "No going back now," she said grimly. Princess Ilara touched her hand and sent feelings of gratitude and determination. They were doing the right thing even if no one else understood yet. They boarded Olivia's fighter. The cockpit was designed for one person, so the princess had to sit on Olivia's lap. Despite the tight fit, they managed to get comfortable. Olivia powered up the engines and they took off, leaving the safety of Deimos behind. Their plan was to fly a complex path to Jupiter, using Mars' gravity to boost their speed and the asteroid belt to hide their trail. It would take longer than flying straight there, but it gave them a better chance of avoiding detection. For the first few hours, they encountered no problems. The fighter performed perfectly, and the new shield crystal added a soft purple glow to the control panel. Princess Ilara remained quiet but alert, occasionally sending Olivia images of what lay ahead. The princess's telepathic abilities seemed to be growing stronger the more she used them. As they approached the asteroid belt, Olivia's sensors detected movement. 3 ships were entering the belt from the direction of Earth. They were following standard search patterns. "They're looking for us," Olivia said. Princess Ilara nodded, her white eyes wide with worry. She placed her hand on the shield crystal and closed her eyes. The purple glow spread throughout the cockpit, then faded until it was barely visible. In Olivia's mind came the idea of being hidden, of light bending around them. "You're making us invisible?" Olivia asked. "Not invisible," the princess's thoughts explained, but harder to see. The light would bend around them and sensors would have trouble locking on. Olivia guided the fighter deeper into the asteroid belt, weaving between the floating rocks with expert precision. The 3 search ships moved through the belt, scanning, methodically. One passed within a few hundred yards of them, but its sensors kept sweeping past without stopping. Once the search ships had moved on, Olivia let out a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. That was too close. They continued their journey, stopping once to rest in the shadow of a large asteroid. Olivia shared more of her rations with the princess, who ate the unfamiliar food cautiously, but seemed to enjoy it. While they rested, Princess Alara shared more information about the situation. Queen Nizara was gathering loyal forces at Jupiter. She had control of several smaller ships, but not the main vessel. Admiral Vex had used the human attacks as an excuse to seize power, claiming the Queen was too soft on inferior species like humans. The energy wave that threatened Earth was real. The Lysithians called it the Star Death Wave, and they had encountered it before. Their shield technology could protect planets from its effects, but it required months to set up properly. Time was running out. After their rest, they continued toward Jupiter. The massive gas giant grew larger in their view screen. Its swirling storms of orange, red, and cream were beautiful but dangerous. Hidden somewhere in those thick clouds was Queen Nizara. As they approached the planet, Princess Alara closed her eyes and stretched out her hands. Olivia felt the strange touch in her mind again, but this time it seemed the princess was reaching far beyond their ship. She was calling to her mother. Minutes passed. Then suddenly, a spot of blue light appeared in Jupiter's clouds. It pulsed in a pattern, once, twice, 3 times. "That's her, isn't it?" Olivia asked. The princess nodded excitedly. She pointed to the blue light, urging Olivia to fly toward it. As they changed course toward the signal, Olivia's sensors beeped, urgently. Ships were approaching from 2 directions. From Earth came 5 human military vessels. From deeper space came 3 Lysithian ships with the red markings of Admiral Vex. "We're caught in the middle," Olivia said. Princess Alara's face showed determination. She placed both hands on the shield crystal and closed her eyes tight. The purple glow intensified, spreading throughout the cockpit and surrounding the entire fighter. Olivia pushed the engines to full power. They streaked toward Jupiter, toward the blue light that promised safety. Behind them, the human and Lysithian ships spotted each other and began to fight, energy beams and missiles flashing between them. "Just a little farther," Olivia urged. "The fighter." They entered Jupiter's upper atmosphere. The gases outside turned thicker and the fighter began to shake. Warning lights flashed on Olivia's control panel. The fighter wasn't designed for these conditions. The pressure would crush them if they went too deep. Princess Alara sent calming thoughts. The blue light was getting closer. They just needed to reach it before the fighter failed or their pursuers caught them. 2 ships broke away from the battle behind them. 1 human, 1 Lysithian. Both were now in pursuit, closing fast. "They've spotted us," Olivia said. The princess's face showed concentration as she pushed her mental powers to their limit. The shield around them glowed brighter, straining against the pressure of Jupiter's atmosphere. The blue light was now directly ahead, pulsing faster. They were almost there. The pursuing ships fired, energy beams and missiles cutting through the gases toward them. At the last moment, Princess Alara threw her hands wide. The shield expanded outward in a burst of purple light, deflecting the attacks. But the effort was too much for the young princess. She slumped in Olivia's lap, exhausted. "Hang on, princess," Olivia said, putting one arm around the small form while steering with the other. The blue light expanded, revealing a hidden opening in the clouds. Inside was a crystal structure similar to the main Lysithian ship, but smaller. As they approached, the opening widened to receive them. With a final burst of speed, Olivia's fighter crossed the threshold. The pursuing ships tried to follow but were repelled by an invisible barrier. Olivia watched in her rear sensors as they turned away, unable to follow. Inside the hidden base, the air was calm. Olivia's fighter settled onto a crystal platform that seemed to form itself to receive them. The cockpit opened automatically. Standing before them, tall and regal, was a being who could only be Queen Nizara. Her blue-purple skin glowed with inner light, and her white eyes shone with intelligence and power. Around her stood guards with weapons ready, but their expressions showed awe rather than hostility. Princess Ilara woke up and saw her mother. With a cry of joy, she leaped from the cockpit and ran into the Queen's outstretched arms. Olivia stepped out more slowly, unsure of her welcome. But when Queen Nizara looked up at her, the gratitude in those strange white eyes was unmistakable. "Human, pilot," the Queen said, her voice musical and clear. "You have saved my daughter and given hope to both our worlds. How can we ever thank you?" Olivia stood before Queen Nizara, suddenly aware of her rumpled flight suit and messy hair. The Queen was at least 7 feet tall, with the same shimmering blue-purple skin as her daughter, but her presence filled the room like light from a star. "Your Majesty," Olivia said, bowing slightly. "I'm Lieutenant Olivia Reeves of Earth. I did what anyone would do to protect a child." The Queen smiled, revealing teeth that glowed like the rest of her. "Not anyone, Lieutenant Reeves. Few would risk everything to save a child, not of their own kind." Princess Ilara, still held in her mother's arms, reached out and touched Olivia's, and a stream of images flowed between them. Everything that had happened since Olivia had first seen the princess's ship being chased. Queen Nizara's eyes widened as she shared her daughter's memories. "You have shown great courage and wisdom," she said when the flow of images stopped. "Now you must help us stop this war before it destroys both our peoples." Olivia nodded. "Admiral Vex has convinced many Earth leaders that you came to attack us, and Earth's first reaction was to fire missiles at you. Neither side is seeing clearly." "True," the Queen agreed. "Fear clouds judgment." She gestured, and a crystal table rose from the floor. Above it appeared a 3-dimensional image of the solar system, with Earth, the main Lysithian ship, and various military forces highlighted. "Admiral Vex has taken control of our main vessel," Queen Nizara explained. "Many of my people are still aboard, essentially hostages. He threatens to destroy Earth cities if humans don't surrender, while Earth threatens to use nuclear weapons against our ship. And meanwhile, the real threat, the star death wave, gets closer," Olivia added. The Queen looked surprised. "My daughter has shared much with you." She thought it was important I understand everything. Queen Nizara nodded. She was right. "The wave will reach your solar system in 5 years. Without our shield technology, all life on Earth will end." One of the Queen's advisors stepped forward. "My Queen, we must consider our own survival. The main ship contains most of our shield generators. Without them, we cannot protect ourselves either." The Queen's face showed her conflict. "I will not abandon Earth to save ourselves. That is not our way." "It is Admiral Vex's way," the advisor argued, "and he controls our best weapons and shields." "Then we must take them back," Olivia said firmly. All eyes turned to her. The Lysithians looked surprised that a human would speak so boldly in their council. Olivia pointed to the image of the main ship. "Admiral Vex expects you to attack directly, Queen Nizara. He knows your forces and capabilities, but he doesn't expect me. My fighter has technology he's never seen, and with the princess's help, we've added your shield technology to it, Princess." Ilara sent an image to her mother. Olivia's fighter surrounded by a purple shield slipping past enemy defenses. The Queen considered this. "What are you suggesting, Lieutenant?" "A small team. Me, a few of your best people. We slip aboard the main ship and take control of key systems. Once we have control, you can approach with your forces and finish the job." The Queen's advisors murmured among themselves. Some nodded approval, others looked doubtful. "It is risky," Queen Nizara said, "but it may be our best chance." She turned to Olivia. "You understand that if you fail, both our worlds may be lost?" Olivia straightened her shoulders. "Yes, Your Majesty, but doing nothing guarantees failure." The Queen nodded. "Very well. We will prepare immediately." Over the next few hours, Olivia worked with 3 Lysithian warriors chosen by the queen. They were tall and strong, with skin that glowed more blue than purple. Unlike the queen and princess, their telepathic abilities were limited, but they were experts in Lysithian technology and combat. They modified Olivia's fighter, enhancing the shield crystal and adding weapons that could disable rather than destroy. The plan was to approach the main ship during a planned attack by the queen's forces. While Admiral Vex was distracted by the larger battle, Olivia's small team would slip aboard through a maintenance hatch. As they prepared, Princess Ilara stayed close to Olivia. The young Lysithian seemed to have formed a strong bond with the human pilot. She helped with the preparations, her small hands surprisingly skilled with the complex technology. "You should stay here with your mother," Olivia told her gently. "It's too dangerous for you to come with us." The princess shook her head stubbornly. In Olivia's mind came clear thoughts. "I can help. Ship knows me. Systems will respond to royal blood." Queen Nizara, overhearing, looked troubled. "She is right. Our main systems are keyed to the royal family. They will respond to her presence in ways they won't for others." The queen knelt beside her daughter. "But it is dangerous, my little star." Princess Ilara sent images to both of them, herself hidden in Olivia's fighter, using her abilities to help from safety, not joining the fighting. After much discussion, they agreed to a compromise. Princess Ilara would stay in the fighter, docked to the main ship. From there, she could use her growing telepathic abilities to help control ship systems without exposing herself to direct danger. As the time for the mission approached, Olivia found a quiet moment to send a message to Earth. Using the Queen's technology, she recorded a video explaining everything: the coup by Admiral Vex, the real reason for the Lysithian visit, the threat of the Star Death wave, and their plan to retake the main ship. "I know I've been labeled a traitor," she said into the camera, "but sometimes doing the right thing means breaking the rules. If we succeed, Earth will have a powerful ally against a threat none of us could face alone. If we fail—" She paused. "Then at least know I tried to save both our worlds." She sent the message on all channels, hoping someone in authority would see it and understand. The time came to leave. Olivia's fighter, now enhanced with Lysithian technology, looked strange, but powerful. The 3 Lysithian warriors, Krell, Vin, and Taz, would travel in a small compartment added to the back of the fighter. It would be cramped, but they only needed to reach the main ship. Queen Nizara came to see them off. She embraced her daughter, whispering words that made the princess's skin glow brighter. Then, to Olivia's surprise, the queen embraced her too. "You carry all our hopes, brave human," she said. "May the stars light your path." They boarded the fighter and launched from the hidden base. As they left Jupiter's protective clouds, Olivia saw the battle had already begun. The Queen's loyal ships, about 20 small vessels, were engaging Admiral Vex's forces near the main ship. Energy beams flashed between them, lighting up space like a storm. Earth forces hung back, watching the alien civil war with uncertainty. Olivia's message had caused confusion in the ranks. Some commanders wanted to join the fight against Admiral Vex, while others still saw all Lysithians as the enemy. "Perfect," Olivia said. "The confusion will help us get close." She activated the enhanced shield. Purple light surrounded the fighter, then seemed to bend the space around them. To outside sensors, they would appear as little more than space, debris. They approached the massive main ship from below, where the battle was least intense. Princess Ilara closed her eyes, reaching out with her mind to the ship's systems. In Olivia's mind came an image of a small opening, a maintenance hatch used for exterior repairs. "There's our way in," Olivia told her team. She guided the fighter to the spot Princess Ilara had shown her. It looked like a seamless part of the crystal hull, but as they got closer, lines appeared forming the outline of a hatch. Princess Ilara placed her hand on the shield crystal and sent a command. The hatch responded, sliding open to reveal a small docking bay. "Good job, Princess," Olivia said. They slipped inside and the hatch closed behind them. The bay pressurized automatically. Krell checked the atmosphere and nodded. It was safe to breathe. "Remember the plan," Olivia said as the Lysithian warriors prepared their weapons. We split up. Krell and Vin go to the engine room. Taz and I head for the bridge. Princess Ilara stays here and helps control ship systems. Princess Ilara nodded, solemnly. She would remain hidden in the fighter, using her royal access to open doors and disable alarms for the team. May your courage light the darkness, Taz said, a traditional Lysithian blessing before battle. Olivia checked her own weapon, a Lysithian energy pistol that could stun rather than kill. She hoped they wouldn't need to use weapons at all, but Admiral Vex's followers wouldn't give up control easily. With a final nod to Princess Ilara, they opened the fighter's hatch and stepped into the main ship, ready to face whatever came next in their desperate mission to save 2 worlds. The inside of the main Lysithian ship was unlike anything Olivia had ever seen. Corridors of living crystal pulsed with light that changed color as they walked. The floor seemed to mold itself to their footsteps, making each step silent. Princess Ilara's presence in their minds guided them through the complex maze of passages. Doors opened before them and closed behind them without a sound. So far, they had avoided detection. The bridge is 3 levels up, Taz whispered to Olivia. Admiral Vex will be there. Olivia nodded. She and Taz continued upward while Krell and Vin headed down toward the engine room. The plan was to take control of both locations at the same time, preventing Admiral Vex from using the ship's weapons or engines. As they neared the upper levels, they encountered the first guards, 2 tall Lysithians with red symbols on their armor. Before the guards could react, Taz fired his weapon. Beams of blue light struck both guards and they collapsed without a sound. Stunned, not dead, Taz assured Olivia as they dragged the unconscious guards into a side room. They continued upward. In Olivia's mind, she felt Princess Ilara's presence growing fainter. The distance was making it harder for the young royal to maintain contact. We're losing her guidance, Olivia whispered to Taz. The Lysithian warrior looked concerned. Without the princess's help, security systems may detect us. As if on cue, red lights began to pulse along the walls. A soft alarm sound echoed through the corridors. They know we're here, Olivia said. We need to move faster. They ran now, no longer trying to stay hidden. Taz led the way, his knowledge of Lysithian ships guiding them toward the bridge. They encountered more guards and had to fight their way through using their stun weapons to clear a path. In her mind, Olivia felt a sudden surge of fear that wasn't her own. Princess Ilara was in danger. Someone had found the fighter. The princess, Olivia gasped. We need to go back. Taz hesitated. The bridge is just ahead. We may not get another chance. Olivia made a quick decision. You go to the bridge. I'll get the princess. Before Taz could argue, Olivia turned and ran back the way they had come. The alarm was louder now and more guards would be looking for them. She had to reach Princess Ilara before Admiral Vex's followers did. As she ran, Olivia tried to send thoughts to the princess. The young Lysithian had been able to share images and feelings with her. Maybe it worked both ways. Olivia pictured herself running to the fighter, helping the princess. She pushed the thought outward with all her mental strength. A faint response came back, a feeling of hiding, of danger close by. Princess Ilara was still in the fighter, but someone was trying to get in. Olivia ran faster, her heart pounding. She took a different route back, avoiding the main corridors where guards would be looking for intruders. The princess had shown her mental maps of the ship. Now Olivia used that knowledge to find her way through maintenance passages and air ducts. Finally, she reached the small docking bay where they had left the fighter. Peering through a vent, she saw 2 of Admiral Vex's followers trying to force open the fighter's hatch. The purple shield was still active, keeping them out, but it was weakening as Princess Ilara's strength faded. Olivia waited until both Lysithians were focused on the fighter, then dropped from the vent. She fired her stun weapon twice. The first guard fell immediately. The second turned and fired back, missing Olivia by inches. She rolled to the side and fired again, catching the guard in the chest. He collapsed beside his companion. Princess, it's me, Olivia called as she approached the fighter. The purple shield flickered, then disappeared. The fighter's hatch opened to reveal Princess Ilara, her small face tight with fear that changed to relief when she saw Olivia. We need to move, Olivia said. It's not safe here anymore. The princess sent a quick thought. The bridge. Taz was in trouble. Can you show me another way there? Olivia asked. A way the guards won't expect? Princess Ilara nodded. She climbed out of the fighter and took Olivia's hand. New images flowed into Olivia's mind, a path through rarely used sections of the ship, ending at a secondary entrance. To the bridge. Perfect, Olivia said. They moved quickly but quietly. Princess Ilara led the way, her connection to the ship allowing her to open hidden doors and passages. Twice they had to hide as guards ran past, searching for the intruders. Finally, they reached a small door that Princess Ilara indicated was the back entrance to the bridge. Through it, they could hear voices, angry shouting in the musical Lysithian language. Olivia peered through a small crystal window in the door. Inside, she saw Taz on his knees, captured. Standing over him was a tall Lysithian with red armor, more elaborate than the others. Admiral Vex. His skin glowed with angry red pulses as he shouted at Taz. We need a distraction, Olivia whispered to Princess Ilara. The young royal closed her eyes. After a moment, alarms began to sound on the far side of the bridge. Lights flashed and several screens showed warnings. The guards looked around in confusion. Admiral Vex barked orders, sending 2 guards to investigate. Now, Olivia said. Princess Ilara touched the door, which slid open without a sound. Olivia stepped onto the bridge, her stun weapon ready. She fired 3 quick shots, taking down the remaining guards before they could react. Admiral Vex turned, his face showing shock at the sight of the human and the princess. He reached for his weapon, but Olivia was faster. She fired, but at the last second Vex moved. The stun beam hit his shoulder instead of his chest. He staggered but didn't fall. With surprising speed, Vex lunged forward and grabbed Princess Ilara. He held his weapon to her head. Drop your weapon, human, he said in perfect English, or the princess dies. Olivia froze. She couldn't risk Princess Ilara's life. Slowly, she lowered her weapon. Release Taz, she said. Then we'll talk. Admiral Vex laughed. It was not a pleasant sound. You are in no position to make demands. I will use the princess to force the queen's surrender. Then I will destroy your primitive planet and save our people from the star death wave. While he spoke, Princess Ilara closed her eyes. Olivia felt a touch in her mind. Not images this time, but a simple instruction. Be ready. Suddenly the bridge. Lights turned deep purple. The floor beneath Admiral Vex's feet seemed to melt, causing him to lose his balance. His grip on Princess Ilara loosened just enough. Olivia didn't hesitate. She dived forward, tackling Admiral Vex. They crashed to the floor, his weapon spinning away. The Admiral was stronger than he looked. He threw Olivia off and scrambled toward his fallen weapon. Taz, seeing his chance, broke free from his restraints and grabbed Admiral Vex from behind. The 2 Lysithians struggled while Olivia retrieved her stun weapon. Taz, move, she shouted. The loyal warrior threw himself to the side. Olivia fired. This time her aim was true. The stun beam hit Admiral Vex squarely in the chest. He collapsed, unconscious. Princess Ilara ran to Olivia, throwing her small arms around the human pilot's waist. Relief and joy flowed from her mind into Olivia's. We did it, Princess, Olivia said, hugging her back. Now let's take control of this ship. Taz moved quickly to the main control panel. The Queen needs to know we've succeeded. He opened a communication channel. Queen Nazara's face appeared on the main screen, her expression changing from worry to relief when she saw her daughter safe with Olivia and Taz. The bridge is secure, my queen, Taz reported. Admiral Vex is captured. And the engine room? The queen asked. As if in answer, Krell's voice came over the ship's system. Engine room secured, my queen. We have full control. Queen Nazara's relief was visible. Well done, all of you. I am bringing our forces to dock now. Hold your positions. The next few hours were busy as the Queen's loyal followers boarded the main ship and took control. Admiral Vex and his supporters were placed in containment cells. The Lysithian Civil War was over. Communications with Earth were reopened. Olivia's earlier message, combined with the Queen's peaceful overtures, had convinced most Earth leaders that the Lysithians had indeed come as friends. Plans were already being discussed for implementing the shield technology that would protect Earth from the Stardeath wave. When things had calmed down, Queen Nazara called Olivia to her private chambers aboard the main ship. Princess Ilara was there, sitting on a crystal throne sized for her small form. "Lieutenant Olivia Reeves," the Queen said formally, "you have saved my daughter, helped end a civil war among my people, and preserved the chance for peace between our worlds. How can we possibly repay such service?" Olivia bowed her head. "Seeing both our worlds safe is enough, Your Majesty." The Queen smiled. "Noble words, but we Lysithians believe that great service deserves great reward." She gestured to Princess Ilara. "My daughter has something for you." The young princess approached, holding a small crystal pendant. It glowed with shifting colors: blue, purple, and a new color, golden like Earth's sun. "This is a royal memory crystal," Queen Nazara explained. "It contains the memories and knowledge of our ancestors. It is our most precious treasure, never before shared with any non-Lysithian." Princess Ilara held the pendant up to Olivia. As the human pilot bent down, the princess placed it around her neck. The moment the crystal touched Olivia's skin, warmth spread through her body. In her mind, she felt a new presence, not just Princess Ilara's thoughts, but many others, ancient and wise. "I don't understand," Olivia said, touching the crystal with wonder.